Good morning, loves. Celeste will record here. How was y'all's full moon 4th of July last night? Mine was, anybody get their tsunami wake-up call or see anybody else getting theirs? A lot of people are going to be waking up over the next few months, guys. It's going to be pretty crazy. I mean, a lot of people who came to activate will activate, but it takes a lot to activate, guys. I mean, it just does. Also, the message I was getting this morning, before I even started shuffling, was stop beating yourself up for not making as much progress as somebody else. I've noticed that a lot of people brag about their progress, even though it took them far, far longer and a lot more work than they want to lead anybody to believe on how they got where they are. I know people who have been trying for a decade and they lucked out on something they weren't even trying on, and they used that as their platform to drop off, and now they tell everybody that they manifested all this success in less than 2 years. Bullshit, baby. You was working on that shit for over 8. So don't even allow anybody to make it feel like somehow what you're doing is wrong and you're not manifesting anything good into your life because you didn't fucking take off like a rocket ship in 2019 or 2020. A lot of people didn't rocket ship in 2020. The fucking economy crashed, all right? These people that are doing so great, everybody's gonna get their turn. And I just wonder, with those fabulous lives they've built themselves, are the people in their lives, would they really stand by them? If there really was another Great Depression, if they lost their millions. My mother in a past life, I believe her last life, was a stockbroker during the Great Depression, and she lost all her money. She jumped off the Brooklyn Bridge because when all the money was gone, all her friends disappeared too. Everything dried up. So, don't beat yourself up for doing what you gotta do to get through the waves of 2020. For those of you who've been waiting for casting, now is a good time. I heard this mentioned on another channel. It's one of the reasons I like watching the Leo King, is he brings in a lot of history. He was talking about the last time the moons were in these transits. The full moon was on July 3rd, and Benjamin Franklin, the creator of the Farmer's Almanac, he postponed the signing of the Declaration of Independence from July 3rd to July 4th in order to avoid signing any contracts under that full moon. But they did do it on July 4th, and here we are, another beautiful weekend in America, celebrating July 4th. I'm sure there'll be more fireworks tonight. There'll probably be fireworks next weekend. I don't really need to buy fireworks around here. I live in the South, so they were going off. No, I didn't get to take my telescope out last night. Nobody wanted to come in the backyard, even if I swept for snakes. That just is what it is, man. Turns out I couldn't see I got too many trees, so it was blocking my view of the comet and of the full moon. But that comet is supposed to be brighter later in the month, so I'll go probably in 2 weeks during the new moon, and I'll go up to the pond by my house where they have a big, nice, beautiful field, and then I should be able to see that comet. So our messages for today, like I said, now that the most intense part of that energy is past, and we are officially, well, today's still technically under the full moon. For me, I always do the 99 degrees, so it's the day before and the day after the full moon, I find, is within the full moon casting periods. So I'm not really picky on the date. I mean, human time constructs. All right, so for today, our messages are cave and sanctuary. So this is all about you need a place that is your own sanctuary. I've been talking about this for a while now. Now, whether this is your bathroom, whether this is your bedroom, whether this is whatever, you should have a space where you can feel totally comfortable, someplace that you can go and either be creative or decompress or take care of yourself in some sort of self-love way and be able to process through your emotions without the burdens of other people around you telling you how you should feel and how you should act. Um, the initial thoughts when you're going through a problem, you got to process through them. You got to process the urge to want to stab somebody in the eye with the fork, but you need to recognize that you had that thought, and then be like, yeah, okay, but I'm a grown up and I know I'm not allowed to do that. So, what other healthier ways can I do to process this so that I don't have to feel like stabbing someone in the eye with the fork, right? Generally, I remove the person that I want to stab with the fork, and then that all goes away, and I can be a normal functioning person without psychotic thoughts. So don't be afraid to find some place for you to have sanctuary, and then create it and show it some love. I'm always about creating your space, wherever your space is. You don't have to live in a big, beautiful mansion, smart home, like Mickey Mouse, house of the future. You don't have to have all that. My house was built in the 1960s. I've had more fun remodeling it than anything else. I just plated clouds on the ceiling of my bathroom. It didn't come out the way I wanted, so that's why I didn't show y'all yet. But, I'm not afraid of failure. I'm not afraid to try an art project and have it come out wrong and then redo it. Winds of activation. So a lot of people, once you get into your little cave, your sanctuary, do what I've been talking about finding out what you really want. The winds of activation. Things are going to start moving. You might not feel like they are, but they are. You'd be surprised. Like, I've noticed a lot of times, it takes me about 6 months to manifest something. That's why I talk about, you guys. Usually, you ask for something and you don't get it right away, so then you spaz out because you didn't get it when you wanted it. And it's like, if you'd just been a little bit more patient, it's either sometimes you should have been a little bit more patient, and then sometimes it's you should have said something. I'm not one for holding things in. I have a very hard time with it. But you'd be surprised. I mean, there's a reason they call it spells. What you speak manifests a lot, which is why you should always be mindful of what your mouth is doing. Let's see, what do we have to go with? Our sanctuary. Our sanctuary, to where we can find those things that activate us. And then the wind of change, winds of activation. If you really want it, you can't be afraid to speak it into reality. And like I said, you can't be afraid of failure. So now, I started out, I just wanted to make jewelry at home, just as like a little side hustle. I was doing these, I had little crystal bottles, and I filled them with different types of gemstones. You can mix two. And then I put a rune stone on them. So that was my first home business project. And then I went to etching glasses and chalices and plates and things of that nature for altar items. And then I made candles for a while. Special spell candles, special order. I did those for a while. I got all this stuff to do soaps, but soaps turned out to be a lot of work. Way more work than anticipated, and between the packaging and how much it costs to make the soap and the ingredients and everything else, it was just like, but the price I have to sell these for, I don't know. I'm not out to make as much money off people as I can. I'm out to help as many people as I can. You know, I don't like this charge super high for my readings. I don't charge super high. Like now I still do the glass, and I do my clay buddies and my clay dragons holding crystals that I sell at the store down here, and I do the readings in the store, which August will be a year that I've been reading at the Zen Den. It took me a long time to get my guts up to go up there and talk to them and not be intimidated by the energies up there, because it's hard not to get intimidated by an older shaman that seems like she has her shit together. But it's so funny when I talk to people like that, because it's almost like they look at me for just as much, like, I don't know, when people can recognize the levels of energy in people. Like, she knew more than I did. Like, I went up there a couple of times, and then finally she approached me and talked to me more, and then that's when I showed her on my phone the pictures of all the things that I was etching and making, and then she, you know, yeah, and then it went from there. But I've been going to the store for about a year before I even got the gall up to do all that. That's what I mean. Don't be afraid of failure. Don't be afraid to switch your projects up. Don't be embarrassed if you, like, I invested a couple $100 in that soap making stuff, and I ended up not selling a single bar of soap. I didn't have to buy any soap in 2019. I mean, that was nice. I was able to make my own soap the whole time. And I ended up using the last of it. I made everybody cookie tins, and I used cookie cutters, and I made everybody special soaps for Christmas. Alright, we got the King of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, and the Ten of Pentacles. So I see a lot of the things that you need to be contemplating is, excuse me, is your kingdom, your earthly surroundings, that to which you rule in this plane, right? So you got your kingdom, you got all the things that you rule in your little kingdom, you got all your little people in your kingdom. This is all about earth energy, things that are in the earth realm around you. Even if it don't feel like a kingdom, your kingdom is your kingdom. Even if it's just a bedroom or a motel room, your kingdom is your kingdom. The problem that you're having to decide on is Seven of Cups. Now, this says debauched, but I've always read the Seven of Cups as the player energy card when doing romance readings, and it pops up for the other person. The Seven of Cups is all about choosing which cup you want to drink from. And I've been posting a lot of messages about that. My son's been watching Aladdin nonstop lately. And I just love this one scene where the genie's talking about the different cups. And he explains to Aladdin, when he first gets his wishes, the danger of the cup of money and power. He goes, those who drink from that cup are never satisfied. And then later in the movie, when Aladdin tells him that he's not going to wish the genie free because he needs the genie to keep giving him energy so that he can maintain this persona of Prince Ali, the genie looks at him and he goes, oh, so you're going to drink from that cup. You're going to lie to everybody around you for the rest of your life and assume this persona that isn't really you and be fake and start everything in your life with a big old fat lie. Buffed out in the end. So this is the time to take sanctuary and find those things to which activate you, that really call to your soul, really speak to your spirit, and don't be afraid to dabble in the different options. Definitely find out what's worthwhile and what's not. Some of us get into building some kind of craft or business, and then we realize halfway into it that, wow, good God, this is a lot of work. My biggest problem is I love to do the glass thing. I love to when I do it by hand with a Dremel special pen. I love to Dremel glass and all that, but it was the shipping that was getting me. There it is. It was the shipping that ended up getting me in the end of that. I was tired of things breaking in the mail, and it was costing too much just to ship them. So no failure is a failure. Like, I don't understand the program of that. I mean, like, you tried something and you failed at it. Something I get on my son about too, and it's if he's not perfect the first time he tries something, he just won't do it anymore. You know, if he tries to shoot a basketball and he does it 2-3 times and he misses 2-3 times, he just gives up and goes inside. He doesn't practice until he gets it. He just, oh, I can't do that. And then he just, as soon as he says it out loud, I can't do it, he said it in his mind. He's just never going to be able to do it. Drives me nuts. But things he is very good at. He's very good at, shooting things. BB guns, bow and arrows, slingshots. Kid's got a dead eye. He's definitely on the zombie survival apocalypse team. Alright. So we're watching our kingdom. We're tempted by a lot of different options, and we are trying to figure out which one is best for us so that we can manifest this Ten of Pentacle energies. What is in our way? What's in your way? You want to know? Got somebody around? Someone who's slick with words, opinionated, hasty. Oh, I love the serpent tongue. That's definitely for the Jack of Swords. And there's no page in this deck, so this could be messages or lack of messages from this person. Nine of Cups. So what's the problem? The problem is you're not really focused on making money. You're focused on finding love. And because you're so focused on that, and the lack thereof, because you're searching for it, it's putting a damper on your abundance frequency. You want the Nine of Cups, you want the love, you want the flowers, you want the romance, you want the roses. You can't attach that to a certain person, okay? And that's a big problem we all have. We end up getting it so attached to a certain person, be it the spouse you were with now, be it your fantasy lover, be it someone you just have a crush on. Crushes have to be the most dangerous thing on the planet. It's that time period where you don't actually know the person, that a lot of us tend to do this weird thing where we put a lot on them that's not really them. You got to really get to know somebody before you decide, oh, they're your twin flame, soulmate, blah, 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 blah. I recognized them at first sight. I knew the first day I met them that they were this, that, and the other thing, and blah, 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 which is fine. But understand they may not have recognized that, and they don't understand that, and for them, you look like a lunatic. I mean, guys, really, we have to keep in perspective that not everybody has the same perspective. And I'm warning y'all with some of the magic stuff that y'all are getting into, your family catch you, like I said, pooping in jars, or doing anything weird like that, you're going to land yourself locked up. Well, I should tell you. You start stalking and harassing somebody, you're going to land yourself locked up. You guys got to be in control. You got to be grown-ups. You got to remember that you chose to come here You chose to be in a body, and you chose to come down and play the 3D game with all us other people, and you have to understand that every person that you connect with is a co-creator in your reality. The only way to be a full creator of your own reality is to literally cut everything and everyone out of your life. I don't know about you. I came here to make connections, not sit alone with just those that I can manipulate and control. I'm an Aries. I enjoy a little chaos. And yeah, a lot of people on the spiritual paths or these law of attraction gurus and and they manifested so much and they did it in such a, well, there's two sides of that spectrum. There's the ones that went through the struggle and they own that they went through the struggle and they own that they tried a bunch of things before they got that bam law of attraction idea that sent them skyrocketing into their success. They also fail to mention that shit didn't happen to those people till they were in their 40s and 50s. Some of the most famous authors out there are in their 40s and 50s. Why? Especially for us, for people like me and you, for us women, between the ages of 30 and 40, divorcees with kids. What? We ain't got time for that shit, man. What? Yeah, I'll write a book. Write a book when my kids are, grown out of the house and I got time to sit with my own thoughts for a minute without being interrupted for a snack every 5 seconds. I can wait. And if I don't get to it, I don't get to it. It wasn't meant to be. I'm not stressing that kind of stuff anymore. I would love to write. And my philosophy is divine timing. I would love to write. And when the time is right, there will be time. Back on the successful career. A happy working environment, pay raises, and promotions. All right, so definitely you guys are shifting through different options, especially when it comes to trying to make some money and build a better world for you and yours. But you have this energy, which is stagnant for you, so it is causing stagnation in your abundance flow. So you want to focus on how to make whatever shifts in your work or career or schooling or whatever it is that you are doing right now. Focus more on that. Focus more on, how you're going to achieve those things. And when it comes to these connections, understand the more you chase, the more they run. The more you push at them, the more they pull away. Let them go. Let people do whatever they want, and you will see what they would truly want to do, and then you'll know who they really are, and if you actually like them. You might not like them. All right, loves, that's all the time I got. If you like this, please like, share, subscribe, spank that bell for me. I love you guys. Blessed be all those who walk these paths with me. I'll holler at you tomorrow.